What's going on there, YouTube? And welcome back to another comic book video. Alright guys, so we are going to jump back into more of our Marvel Siege reading order. But guys, we now pick up with the Dark Avengers once again. Dark Avengers number 15. A tie-in to the Siege event. Now guys, with this book right here, it takes place at the same time as the Siege the Cabal storyline. Now, real quick, if you are new to my channel, basically every Friday we are covering the Marvel Siege reading order. And so far we covered Dark Avengers number 13 and 14, Siege number 1, and Siege the Cabal storyline. But with this book right here, Dark Avengers number 15, like I said, it does take place at the same time as the Siege the Cabal storyline. The only thing is though, we are not going to focus on the fight of Norman Osborn and Doctor Doom. Like, we get the first 2 pages of that fight and that's it. And the thing is, the first 2 pages, it's just basically giving us an answer to one of our questions we had back in the Siege the Cabal storyline. Now remember, in the Cabal storyline, something attacked Doctor Doom, which made Doctor Doom attack Norman Osborn. The question was though, what in the world attacked Doctor Doom? Well guys, like I said, the first 2 pages gives us that answer. It was the Void. And the thing is guys, it makes sense that the Void is the thing that attacked Doctor Doom. Now remember guys, in my last 2 videos, Dark Avengers number 13 and 14, in those books right there, the Void was slowly taking over the body of Robert Reynolds and pushing out the Sentry persona. And so it makes sense the Void was the thing to attack Doctor Doom because the Void made a deal with Norman Osborn. It makes sense. But like I said, guys, we are not going to focus on the fight. That took place in the first 2 pages. We now jump over to Bullseye, aka the Hawkeye on the Dark Avengers. Now remember guys, when Norman Osborn made the Dark Avengers, he went around the world. He got super villains and say, listen, your name is no longer Bullseye. Your name is no longer Venom or Scorpion. You are going to be my Spider-Man on my team or my Hawkeye on my team. I need you guys on my team, basically. That's what he did. And so the Hawkeye on the team, it's not Clint, it's Bullseye. And thing is, guys, in my last video, we saw Norman Osborn ask Bullseye to do him a favor. He needs Bullseye to kill off Linda, the wife of the Sentry, because she is playing a huge threat to Norman Osborn's game plan. And so Norman Osborn told Bullseye in our last video, I need you to kill off Linda Reynolds, the wife of the Sentry. I need you to accomplish this job. And it's kind of like, yo, that's crazy though. Now, like I said though, we do kind of get a small glimpse of the fight between Doctor Doom and Norman Osborn. The thing is though, as they're fighting, like in the Cabal storyline, the Dark Avengers are getting into helicopters to fly away from the fight, to let Norman fight against Doctor Doom, and let the Sentry help Norman to fight against Doctor Doom. The only thing is though, guys, in the Cabal storyline, all we saw is that all the Avengers got in one chopper and flew away. In this book right here, it says no. Everybody got in one chopper except Hawkeye, aka Bullseye, and the wife of the Sentry. They got in a different chopper and flew away in a different direction. Because again, Norman Osborn as Bullseye to kill off the wife of the century. And the thing is, guys, he does that. He flies her over the ocean or a river, whatever, and he starts to choke her. Now, while he's choking her, he does say some kind of mean things to her. She tries to fight back, but of course, it is Bullseye, one of the best assassins in Marvel Comics. And so he was able to just kill her. And he threw her body in the ocean or a river. I have no clue. But he threw her body in a body of water and said, mission accomplished. And so when he flies back, the fight between Doctor Doom and Norman Osborn is already over. But when he flies back, he does tell Robert Reynolds, I'm sorry, your wife is dead. She committed suicide. She hated to be here in the Avengers Tower with you. And so she committed suicide. I tried to stop her, but I couldn't. And so she killed herself. And the thing is, guys, this makes sense. Because if we jump back to Dark Avengers number 13, Linda told us, the readers, that she hated her husband. She hated being stuck in the Avengers Tower. She tried to escape. She tried to kill her husband in that book right there. And so it makes sense that if Hawkeye comes to Robert Reynolds, it makes sense to come back to Robert and say, listen, your wife committed suicide. She hated being here. She hated you. And so she jumped off the chopper to her death. And it's kind of like, dang, is Hawkeye playing mind games with the Sentry? Now, you do have Hawkeye tell Sentry, listen, this is where her body is at. You can go find her. And of course, he does fly away. But right before this book closes, Norman Osborn does walk up to Hawkeye and he does whisper something. We don't hear what he said, but we come to find out Miss Hand, the assistant to Norman Osborn, she put two things together. She said, oh my God. Norman Osborn asked Hawkeye to kill off Linda, the wife of the Sentry. She was able to connect the dots, and she's kind of like mind blown. And the thing is, guys, that wraps up Dark Avengers number 15. And it's kind of like, yo, what a crazy ending that is. And so, guys, I'm going to go ahead and end this video. But before I go, guys, please, all I'm asking you guys is to leave me a like and subscribe for more comic book stories in the near future. Also, any suggestions you guys have on books I should read and then cover on my channel, let me know in the comments below. But anyways, guys, I'm out and I'll see you on the next comic book video. Have a good day, guys. Later.